Hey everyone, welcome back. Today I'm actually at CES and I'm with Trevor here, OKestGamer.
Hey guys.
We're actually lucky enough to have hands-on with the Onexplayer APEX. We also have the Super X, but stay tuned for those videos. Yeah. So we're going to go through a little bit of gameplay, give you an idea of the length of the power cord, what screen protectors might fit this, size it up against the Nintendo Switch 2. So if you have any other questions, make sure you hit those down below and we'll get to those too. So here is the Apex, here is the Nintendo Switch 2. So if you're sizing them up side by side, you can see that this Switch 2 is actually pretty comparable in overall length. The Apex is just a little bit longer on the edge here, but from overall thickness, the Apex is obviously thicker. There's a lot more in there. You've got more oomph to the actual controllers for actual grip style. From a weight standpoint though, if we've got this battery off, and of course the battery has the kickstand on it, which is super sick. But if we get this battery off, this thing is so much lighter than the Nintendo Switch 2. It's actually pretty crazy. So from, again, a width standpoint, quite a bit thinner on the Switch 2, but super light on this. And the screen size is pretty close, but you can see that the Switch 2 is obviously a little bit longer on the bezel, but for the actual screen, it's not that much longer. Now, if you're wondering for a screen protector, this is actually the Legion Go S screen protector. This is a JSOX one. And this is just a shield that was on top of there for reference, in case you're wondering why I pulled that off. If you look at this, it actually does not work. So you can't use this screen protector for this device. So anybody who was hoping, including myself, now we know officially you can't use it. So we'll have to wait for something to come out that's specific for this device. Or if there's another device that has, again, a smaller bezel, for that, we might be able to make that work. But for now, we're gonna have to stick with the pre-applied film that's on there, which you can see it. It's just right on the edge. So just leave that on when you get your device. Don't take that off if you are picking one of these up. So you can see, again, for the overall distance, I'll just throw measuring tape up here because it makes it a little bit easier. It's actually a pretty tight device. When you're feeling the joysticks and stuff too, it's a nice, slick feel because you have that metal ring on the edge. If you're looking at the actual joysticks on the Switch 2, you've got a lot more room in there on the Apex. So if you want some sort of reference to be able to go off of for the joysticks, there you have it. There's a really good feel there. I think I'm really gonna like these sticks. It's got a nice kickback on it too. The buttons feel good. They're nice and clicky. We've got good trigger range on the bumpers and the triggers. We have those hair triggers at the back. You hear the click. And then we've got those back buttons here, of course. And, anybody who watches the Handheld United Speedcast, I like big holes for the fans. And these are big holes. They're very nice. So lots of airflow coming into these fans for this device. For the charge brick. Now, this thing is pretty big. This obviously is not a US plug. You can see that apparent on here, but here's the connections that were offered. For the actual cable length, this is about 45 inches right from here. So 46 inches right from the edge. And that'll give you a little bit of an idea of what to expect for this. For actual thickness, we're looking at like 1.25 inches, just over 1.25 inches. So yeah, this thing has a little bit of weight to it. So expect to, have to pack that in a little bit bigger of a bag, maybe like a Tom Talk or something. And we're talking about bags. This is the one that comes, with anybody who backed it will have this. I believe everybody gets it, right?
I think so.
I think everybody gets it. Anyways, if you're wondering who the cameraman is, again, you met him at the beginning of the video. So the battery bank, yeah, if you hear somebody breathing in the mic, that's Trevor. If you put this in here, you don't have to necessarily have the battery attached. It'll still fit. So you can just, secure it that way, but you're not fitting this inside the actual case. that's enough about the sizing, but if you have some more questions and there's something that we can actually answer while we're at CES here and have some hands-on, make sure you leave those, again, down in the comments. All right, also on the front, I should mention too, there's the Onex console button and then a keyboard that pulls up. So if you hit that, the keyboard will pop up. And then of course we have, you know, the miscellaneous button. So that'll probably be able to be programmed to like an Xbox button so that you can use that. On the top here, we have the headphone jack, the power button, the volume up and down rocker, the USB, the DC port, USB 4, so Thunderbolt 4. We have a regular type USB-C, USB 3? It's not a Thunderbolt port. That one's not.
No?
No. I'm pretty sure, because it says Type C on it.
USB 4.
But this one's very clear it's USB 4. I'm pretty sure this one's not. I think it's just for charging and like out for display.
We have a USB-C port at the bottom.
Yeah, we have a USB-C port at the bottom. And then the micro SD card. And then this is that special mini SSD, but it looks like we need a pin on there, and I don't think the airport would let us take, you know, something that's gonna stab into that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen. So we have a new contender that has entered the size up match, and that is the Legion Go 2, donated by Digital Jedi. I'm just kidding, it's not donated, it's just, you know, he lent it. So this is the Legion Go. We have the OLED display, we have the regular display here, non-OLED, but it's still very beautiful from the Apex. And when you look at them side by side with the brightness, they look really good, both of them. So even though this isn't an OLED display, I still really like this. And it looks really good. When we put these side by side, it's about just a little taller on the Legion Go versus the top of, I mean, the length is pretty close, just a bit shorter on the Apex. Then of course, we're a little less wide here, but with the battery, you know, you get a little bit bigger, further extension. Then when we're talking about the Apex from a position for your hands, you might be wondering how this is for comfort on the sticks and stuff, but it's actually not that bad. I think it's pretty good. Depending on the size of your hands and your grip style, you know, what you're going for. Legion Go 2, you know, it's a different kind of arch, different kind of fit for your thumbs, for the actual joysticks. You can see right here the difference between the two. So, you know, you have the higher stick on the Legion Go 2 and the shorter stick on the Apex. From a circular standpoint, you get the tighter sticks on the Apex, whereas, you know, on the Legion Go 2, it's a lot looser. So I really like the snap on the Apex because it's closer to how the Onexfly feels, and I like those sticks a lot. I just wish there was tighter sticks on the Legion Go 2. Maybe at some point you could swap those out, but until then, like, this unit looks really cool. Side by side, the grip style, it's actually pretty long and flat, more so on the Legion Go 2, and then with the Apex you've got more of a curved edge, so your fingers just sit nicer on there. I like the way that it's curved. Again, I find it more comfortable than the Legion Go, but it depends, you know, how you're going to hold it and, you know, the size of your hands. If you have bigger hands, you might find that the Legion Go 2 is more comfortable. But I do find the Apex to be more comfortable overall. And I'll quickly show you the back. And we've got more macros, of course, on the Legion Go 2, but it depends what you're looking for if you need those extra macros. I mean, the 2 buttons in the back I find are a more comfortable position. We've got the hair triggers, you know, if you like being able to adjust those. I really do. I think it's a great addition to the Apex. So we did manage to get ourselves a Biwin mini SSD, 1 terabyte. So I'm just going to eject it quick so I can show you how to get this out. So we have this pin. We are going to push this in just like a SIM card and eject it. And how it goes in is exactly like this. I'll pop this out quick to show you, but on the very bottom of this, there is this little edge, and that edge, you're just gonna line that up with your card, and then same thing, there's this little cutout here. So that's how you know that you have it the right way. So it's gonna go down just like this, and you're gonna feed in the bottom first, and then push that down and have a nice slim fit. And then when you go to put this back in, connect it, and then you're good to go. So it's not just going to come out. You can't like push to eject it or anything. You need to have like a pin in order to do that. And then we also have the micro SD card, and that's going to go in just like this at the very bottom. There we go. So now we have 2 drives at the bottom, which is kind of interesting. You just see that double up at the bottom. And then of course you got the USB-C that you can use to charge, or, you know, maybe there'll be a dock eventually that you can put it down and display out that way. But I think that's probably what they were aiming for when they put that at the bottom. So now we have Cyberpunk 2077. I have it plugged in through the DC barrel. The battery is still connected. I mean, obviously we don't have to have it connected, but it is still connected. If you press the One X console button, pulls up, we're on 80 watts right now. I don't have the overlay on. We're using the AMD overlay right now. But if I flip back over to this, the settings that I have it set to on Cyberpunk is 1200p, and it's on windowed borderless. And then on graphics setting, it's set to high, and then resolution scaling is turned off, frame generation is turned off. So there is no FSR running. We're just gonna flip it over to run the benchmark, and you'll get an idea of the FPS at the top corner here, along with some of the metrics at the bottom. Now, even though the speakers are down firing, they do sound pretty good. I do like front-facing speakers, you know, a lot more overall, but the buttons feel really great on this. I'm pleasantly surprised with the D-pad and the face buttons. Those micro switches feel really good. The joysticks feel really good. Again, remind me of the Onexfly F1 Pro, and I really enjoyed those sticks. And again, this is kind of bringing that back, but with the larger screen, a tight bezel around the edge, which is why the Legion Go S screen protector doesn't fit on here. But you know what? It does look really good. Hopefully we'll have an aftermarket version for the screen protector. What? That's your first look at the Apex here. You can see that the FPS is getting pretty good results overall with that high with no FSR. When we take it over to the end screen, we are sitting at 83.14 overall. Again, no scaling, no FSR. So if you are trying to compare this to what your current device is using, just make sure that everything matches here on the screen, and then you'll get a really good idea. You can see also the version of the AMD driver that's on here. So this is the November 2025 driver that's on here, and pretty good performance. Again, if you want to see some other results with 395 devices, I do have them linked in the description. If you want to know any accessories or any updates I might have, you feel free to check out the description. Again, I put lots of information in there. If you have any questions, leave those down in the comments. And if this was helpful for you, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and take care till the next one.